But I'm just so glad it's skateboarding. It's been the one thing that came to me at the right time. It could have been anything I imagined, but skateboarding was what it was. That's why I love skateboarding to death. That's right when I found skateboarding. Like, my friend showed me it and I was like latched onto it because it was the only thing at that time that was really fun and like my escape. And I fell in love with it, you know?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the motherfucking podcast. Each and every episode is brought to you by All I Need. Check out ALLiNEEDSKATE.com. That's where we post all the vlogs. That's where we post all the podcasts. We also have our online skate shop right there. Currently, we do have some decks up there for those asking about the Crush It Like Quint and the Greetings from Timmy Knuth deck. They're up there. We got the Evan Mansalillo Dragons up there. We got the Fukuhara Bigfoot deck. We have a good amount of decks up there in multiple sizes. Check out ALLiNEEDSKATE.com. We also have awesome socks. We got some hoodies, several different t-shirt designs. We might have a banner or two. We also have summertime shorts, man, but we only have large sizes. Small and medium sold out, so we have large, XL, and double XL. Check that all out, again, at ALLiNEEDSKATE.com. Testing. Mic check. We are throwing the All I Need Summer Jam skate contest at Uxbridge, July 10th, which is a Saturday, my G's. We will have beginner jams. We will have 35 and over jam for all you lifers out there that want to get in and support. We also will have advanced jams out there. We'll be giving out skateboards, apparel from All I Need, World, Vulture Crew. The entry fee into the summer jam is $50, and all that money goes directly back into the skate park fund. So if you come, you rip, you may win some stuff. We're definitely going to make an edit of the day. Sammy Skates is going to film a sick-ass edit of the day. I'm going to bring my PA. I'll be on the microphone talking some shit. I'll be announcing some of the jams, calling out some of the tricks. We might even do a best trick in there. But yeah, $50. And that money goes directly back into the skate park fund, which I'll be handing to Bug and Robbie, and they will continue on their epic journey of building up Uxbridge Skate Park. Thought it was a cool idea. The people that show up and put on a hell of a show, they support building more at the park. So again, Saturday, July 10th at Uxbridge, Mass. Skate Park. All I Need Summer Jam. Beginner Jam starts at noon. 35 and over jam starts at 3. Advance starts at 5. Sponsored by All I Need Skateboards, World Industries, and Vulture Crew. If you would like to lock in your spot early, which would help us get organized, please go to allineedskate.bigcartel.com. So allineedskate.bigcartel.com, and you can register right there and lock your spot in for the All I Need Summer Jam at Uxbridge, Mass. See you there. This episode is brought to you by World Industries. Please check out worldindustries.com if you love skateboarding, if you love epic art, if you know who Flameboy and Wet Willie are. Check out worldindustries.com. Tons of goodies up there, man. I've got a serious question. Do you or someone you know have a nutsack that needs manscaping? If so, Father's Day is just around the corner, and you probably need a gift for your hairy dad. Make your dad proud this year and get him yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the Lawnmower 4.0. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code AIN at manscaped.com. Manscaped is the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and just launched their Lawnmower 4.0. Imagine surprising your hairy dad with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized body hair trimmer that says, "Your balls will thank you," on the box. And, oh, they will. Your balls will thank you. Keeping it crispy clean, my friends. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Again, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code AIN. Get your dad a gift you know they'll use. I like my Manscaped products. I got some Revive right here. It's a little ball toner. When I'm feeling need a little pick me up, right there, nails it. This thing doesn't nick the nutsack. Today on the podcast, I sit down with one of my best friends, Derek Fukuhara. I first met Derek back when he was riding for Ezekiel in World Industries, over a decade ago. He's always killed it. I remember seeing his skating in videos like Filmbot and just photos in magazines, and he used to have Ezekiel ads ran. And I was always like, damn, this dude has such a good style and such good trick selection, everything done right, and super smooth. His own style, too. Later, I skated with World Industries with him. We became really good friends. We were road partners whenever we were traveling. We'd hang out, shoot the shit, talk about life, talk about where we're going, where we're from. Yeah, Derek's a super solid human, man, and he's been killing it, man, as you'll hear in the podcast. Thanks for being the epic homie, Derek, and always having my back, G. Please enjoy today's episode. Hell yeah, Derek, what's going on, man?
A lot and not much, but yeah, a lot out here in California.
What time is it? What time is it right now?
It is 9:57 a.m. on a Saturday.
I appreciate you coming on early, because I wasn't really planning on skating, but once you said that, it started churning the wheels, and then now I got a session to go to.
Oh, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Not raining or what?
It's raining out there, but we're going to rent out the skate park here. It's called the Lighthouse skate park. And what it is it's a small little indoor spot, and they just bring like pole jams, flat rails, like little 4-foot quarter pipes, and it's all movable. And the only way you can skate the place is if you rent it out online for 2-hour increments, and you can have 12 people. So it's like a skate park, but it's like so generic and small, but it's super fun because there's wall rides and like it's basically if you're a 12-year-old kid and you could have every little cool thing you ever wanted to skate into like a small little spot, and then you can just rent it out and skate with your homies.
I love it. And like, how much is it for like 2 hours for 12 people? Like $100 or something like that?
No, it's like $40.
Oh, did you hear that you could rent out AMC theaters for $99?
By yourself?
For whoever, like up to however many people. I don't know what's changing with the COVID shit, but I know like a few weeks ago, like my homie was posting that him and his girlfriend they rented out the theater for a movie for $99.
Yo, I would.
And then
do
you
that.
could just have X amount. Bring the whole team, and all the boys. Just $99. Like
$100. $100. Go watch Avatar.
Yeah, crazy, right? Let's fucking go.
It's good. They have to like adjust their business model. You know, it's kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that Lighthouse Park, it's sick, man. It's like literally $40 and 12 people, and you can go for 2 hours, and it's just yours. No one's there. Like last time I was there, it's kind of like the honor system. Last time we were there, we stayed a little late, and then it ended up like getting to their closing hours, and then someone just walked in and closed up the park. But we stayed late.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
that's so sick, man.
And what's cool about it is it's like in the middle of like the city of Providence. It's just in a random building.
Oh, it's Improv. Cool, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. Some super sick community shit. Like, it's nothing too crazy. It's not probably the headache of having like a crazy skate park. I personally love skating shit like that. Like, when I go to a giant skate park like Stoner Park or like the park in Boston, it's like, it gets overwhelming, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like having like a tiny little plaza like the size of Cherry or the old Huntington Beach skate park, you know? Something with like 4 or 5 little obstacles that you can kind of just like skate in circles around.
I'm the same way. Well, like
I love that.
To be honest, I like those big parks, but I totally get why someone wouldn't because it is a lot. It's too much sometimes. And then, but yeah, having like some constraints in like a smaller park, just it feels more intimate and fun.
Mm-hmm. I guess you're like Timmy and you could fucking fly around and do like giant airs and then kickflip lip the fucking rail and then go do kickflip disaster at the quarter pipe and just flow, you know? Like, it'd probably be super fun, but that's not how I skate. I'm like skating little baby ledges and circles and shit.
Yeah, we're not all Timmy.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Timmy or Kevin or something.
Oh, Kevin too. He's just like
flying around.
Bouncing off walls and shit, landing everything.
Must be fun.
Dude, last night, D-Fooks is So today officially is the day where we don't have to wear the masks in public, I guess, unless like a private business wants to really do it, keep that going. But so today is the official day. Did you know that?
No, ours I think is the 15th. You know, California is behind. Newsom is
Oh,
just that's our dude Newsom, right? He's just like trying as hard as he possibly can to keep us fucking locked down, right? Like
yeah.
it's pretty annoying.
Oh yeah, so it's probably state by state. So in Massachusetts today, right now, is technically we don't have to rock the mask anymore. But I went to the Edge last night and skated with like my young homies, like young Chloe and Anders and Rory, and like I've been skating with them here and there through the pandemic, and it's like those kids are so fun to fucking skate with. But in the pandemic, it's like they're landing tricks and they're all hyped, but you can't see their expression because they got the fucking masks on, you know. So like the session's so muted. It
Oh
sucks.
my god, I
But
haven't even
last
thought
night,
about that.
dude, last night it was like I showed up to the park. They were all juiced. They get juiced because they know like we're gonna skate, but they also are like stoked to film some clips too and like push themselves. So last night they were so fired up because there was no masks and like you could just see and connect with each other again. It was fucking
Yeah,
awesome, man. It was so good.
that's energy is everything. That's fucking sick, man.
Yeah, and it seriously and like it sucked in the pandemic, and I get why we got to do it or whatever, but it sucked because like I'm teaching these lessons and watching these kids like struggle to learn something, and they're brave and they're finally landing these things, and like you don't even get to see the expression on their face. You know, it's like so
Yeah,
muted, so gray. It's just gray feeling.
yeah, I haven't thought about that. Like, I haven't skated at indoor park or, you know, when I do skate, I'm just at the fucking skate park or whatever, and ain't no skateboarders out here in the streets gonna wear a mask. Like,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah,
I mean, actually, I don't know. It's not like I go to Quan or anything. It's like a pretty crazy shit show, but I can't imagine anybody at J-Quan like wearing a mask. You know, maybe
no,
like one or two people,
yeah.
but
We're not. I'm not wearing masks out here in the fucking streets. Never have.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
doing it. Yeah.
yep.
But I'm happy. I'm so happy that the mask thing is done with so far. Like,
It's so crazy. It's been like a year and a half, man. Like when this shit went down, I remember like them saying we're gonna have like a shutdown and a, like quarantine or whatever, and I was like, 2 weeks. Like this is gonna be 2 weeks, and people are like, no, it's gonna go into August. I'm like, no fucking way, it's going into August. Now it's like the next year. We're like closing in on August of the next year. It's
yeah,
insane.
it's crazy because since we skate, we understand that like there's some rules in society that are just kind of bullshit and contradictory. So like, cause we kind of push those boundaries and we see what's what, you know. Like we've always done that street skating and been like, yeah, there's just some stupid ass signs and rules that make no sense, and we're just gonna do this anyways. But like, so the pandemic hit, and it's like I have that ingrained in me. I'm like, it's just like there's things that make sense, and then there's times when it doesn't make sense at all. But there's people out there that don't have that like sense of like rebellion. They just like follow every rule and they believe everything they're told, and they follow everything and every sign telling them what they can and can't do.
Hmm.
And for me it's just like kills my soul because I'm like, dude, we need more critical thinkers because there's fucking people are just being assholes. Like, even if you don't follow some rule that makes no sense and they know it makes no sense and it's contradictory, they're still like, hey, do this, put your mask up, blah, blah, blah. It's like you're policing each other now. It's like, fuck off. You're not
Yeah,
saving anything. You're not saving me. Save yourself.
it's fucking yeah. It's just the virtue signaling and like if you read like those old books, what it is like if you read like 1984 or something like that, like they, it talks about like the kids are called like the spies. Like all this shit's crazy. Like all those books, Fahrenheit 451, 1984, like
I,
A
w- I
Brave New
read
World. They're
the
all,
I read the 1984 not that long ago, or I think I either I watched it or listened to the audio one. I would like rewatched it, and yeah, totally, just that whatever that
it's like,
is, that
bro, that's like 1940s. That shit was written in like 1940s in like England or whatever, and like the parallels to what's happening now to then is insane. Like, obviously the Big Brother shit and the camera surveillance or whatever, but like in the book, the kids are called the spies, and they're basically taught to like snitch on their parents. Like, if the parents aren't being loyal to this to the party or whatever, the
yeah,
kids are supposed to snitch on them, and that's like all everything is now. It's just everybody's trying to snitch on everybody because the virtue signaling. It's like you could yell at somebody because they're not wearing a mask because you care about wearing a mask because like you care, You
Yeah.
know, it's like virtue signaling, and it just is on both sides. It's like, you're a sheep, you're fucking wearing a mask, and it's like, you're fucking not wearing a mask, you don't care about people, and it's just like everybody trying to show that they care on both sides, but it's just a very like aggressive, non-healthy way to communicate.
Yeah.
You know?
It's because it's yeah, they just pull it to the extremes, and the truth is always in the middle. So it's like,
Hmm.
but we can't have enough nuance to understand that because people would rather just freak out. We have a mental
Hmm.
health issue.
Dude, yeah, that's America for sure. Just like
uh,
overreacting and whatever.
yeah,
But
whatever. We'll survive, and I'm just happy the masks are off. Like, it makes me feel fucking good because these people that are power tripping and like they've never had power over anyone, but now they have that little like authority because the news told them or whatever, or they think they're right, or they can just like tell someone else how to live or what to do. Like, fucking insane. I just never would.
yeah,
I would never do that. Like if I was, I work a job and I don't feel the need. I don't get paid extra first to tell someone to pull their mask over their nose. So why the fuck am I gonna do that? You know. And I have
yeah.
a mask on. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not. You're not saving them, and you're not. You know, like fuck off.
I'm not going to tell a stranger what to do. It's not my place to
Exactly.
just walk up to somebody and tell them what to do. And a perfect example of that is we were in the, to the point where like I probably should say shit in some scenarios. Listen to this shit. So we were in Vegas last week for this trade show, right? Like
What was the trade show?
it's called G4 Live. It was like the first one. It's like a cannabis business to business trade show, and they brought us out to. They brought the team out to like shoot a bunch of content of it, like cover the event, and then shoot a vlog or whatever. So we're in the Mandalay Bay and we're just like chilling after the show, like before dinner. And I'm like, I hear a knock on the door. I'm like, this ain't room service. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking 6 o'clock. Like, what the fuck? Open the door. There's nobody there. And then two like 12-year-old girls like pop their head in from the side of the door. And they're like, hey, do you have a dog? And I'm like, literally looking around like, what the fuck? They're like, do you have a dog? And I'm like, no. And they're like, okay, we're doing a scavenger hunt. And then they run off. And I'm like, who the fuck is letting their 12-year-old fucking daughters run around this hotel and knock on random fucking doors? I like wanted to call security. We like went downstairs. I was like debating telling security, like, find these little girls' parents. Like, who the fuck is sending their 12-year-old daughters into fucking rooms in the Mandalay Bay? People are gonna be opening doors, and some like creepy old dude's gonna be like, yeah, I got dogs. Come check out my bathroom. Like, lots of these 12-year-old girls, like, so like I was gonna tell security, like, because I felt like, what the fuck? Like, where are your parents? It's
Yeah,
like
like
the
we
one.
don't live in fucking La La Land. People are all the way out in cloud nine. It's like there's real danger out there, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what like small town, like nice Bible Belt fucking city you live in, but this is Las Vegas, and people, this is Sin City, and there's people doing shit in rooms that you don't even want to know about, or what you don't want your 12-year-old daughters to like walk
I,
into. Like,
Derek, I don't even think it's small town Bible Belt. I think those people are more aware of the danger. I think it's more like too progressive, like out there thinking that like everything's okay and there's no boundaries and you can be whatever you want to be and kids and adults are
dude,
equal, and it's like no, like kids are underdeveloped and growing and adults are not, and like
and then you forget that their parents are our age, fool. You know
terrifying,
what I
dude.
mean? Their parents like had them when they were 22, 23, and now 24. Now they're fucking 12. Like, I'm like walking around because there's like the weed convention, and then right next door is like some crazy volleyball convention with like all these kids. Our dumbasses are walking around with like all this weed shit and like just smelling like weed. And there's like all these kids running around, and I'm like looking around, and I'm like, damn, these parents are all our age taking their kids to the Vegas tournament, and like our dumbasses are like skateboarding and shooting weed content. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm thankful for that though.
Yeah, facts.
Because
Yeah.
I mean I love kids, but I'd rather be working on a skateboard company, skating with the homies, filming videos and stuff right now.
I mean, you have kids. You have like fucking dozens of kids that you take care of, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Like I definitely stay immersed in skate lessons and hanging out with kids and like get that youthful energy and try to help them in any ways I can, you know.
Yeah.
That's cool. The weed trade show pretty fun or what?
I mean, the biggest shit show ever. And by big, I mean very little. But it was just a disaster of a trade show. Like, we've worked with like over 400 brands in the past 3.5 years doing our agency, and these people disrespected us like more than anybody we've ever worked with. And when you show up to their trade show, they're just like freaking out on us the whole time, like being fucking assholes. It's just like what we deal with is everybody's like, you guys are fucking killing it. You guys are the best. Everybody works with you. We have to work with you. We can't wait till we work with you. We blah, 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 blah. And then they sign the invoice, and then the energy just shifts to like, oh, we're paying you now, so fuck you, and you have to do what we say. Where it's like, oh, you're really the person that goes to the restaurant and like talk shit to the fucking server. Like, that's
Yeah.
the energy. You know what I mean? But like leading up to it, before that, it's like as soon as somebody signs the invoice, they're like, we love you. You're amazing. Your work is so good. And then they sign it, and they're just like, you need to make the next Super Bowl commercial, and we're paying you a couple $100. Like, what's wrong with you? But so whatever, we go to this trade show. It's just drama between like one of their people and our people, but we just like sucked it up and like shot it the best we could. And we like, it was like really bad energy. There's like 10 tables. They're acting like this is the biggest trade show ever. There's literally like 10 booths in the whole trade show. Like maybe 200 people, including all the people working the show.
Yeah.
So I can see why they're stressing out on us, because their show fucking sucks. And we showed up and like, we just made the best of it. There's like bad energy and everything, but we like microdosed some shrooms both days, and me and the video dudes just like ran around like fucking wilding out, acting like idiots. So it's the same shit. It's not where you're at, it's who you're with. And you know, oftentimes where you're at sucks. So if you can just surround yourself with good people, you'll be able to fucking like have a good time no matter where you're at.
So fucking true. Well said.
But yeah, Vegas was cool. We all lost, buddy, but we went out there, did our thing. We were going to Vegas a bunch before the pandemic, dude. We were out there like 3 weeks out of the last month before the pandemic started. Just like picking up a bunch of brands, like shooting a bunch of trade shows and stuff like that. So
That's good. All with the high rise.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's good.
Bro, it's been insane since we've been in that house. Aaron's literally living in the master bedroom of a $10 million house in Beverly Hills. And the master bedroom is bigger than my 2-bedroom apartment. And he has 2 bathrooms. One of his bathrooms is bigger than my bedroom.
Wow.
Like his shower is like the size of like mine and Jen's bedroom. But he deserves it, man. Like, everything's been insane out here with high rise and what we've done during the pandemic. Like, you know, we moved into that house in August in the middle of the pandemic, and in California, in Southern California, there's only like 3 or 4 like venues that you can have consumption events at, where you can like openly smoke or whatever. And then they're like 2 of them are like trash. One's like a freaking studio apartment in the building in Skid Row. So it's like there's not even good venues. So we're always talking about we need to open up an event space, and then pandemic hits. And then 6 months into the pandemic, one of our clients is like, yo, let's do a content house. Like, our investors are down. Like, let's split it or whatever. So we end up just like moving into this place from the old Long Beach house within like 3 weeks. And yeah, we've been there since August, and we have a bunch of like brands sponsoring the house. We throw events since we moved in August. We've thrown like 50 or 60 cannabis events throughout the pandemic. Like,
That's heavy.
30, 40 people mixers, where, you know, we'll just have like 40 buyers from dispensaries, or we'll have like a bunch of like owners, marketing directors, bud tenders, and like just plugging people in with each other. Like, the amount of connections we've been able to make for ourselves and then plug people in, like, oh, cool, we're going to plug in this grow with this extractor. Cool, we're going to plug in this distro with this brand. They're looking to white label flour or whatever. Like, just the collisions we've been able to make like in this house in the last 9 months, 10 months has been literally like changing the game. Like, nobody's been able to throw one event in Southern California, and we threw 12 in April, you know? So it's like,
that's a good idea to get everyone under one roof and then allow them to mingle, and you're just the bridge that connects all that. That's pretty epic.
We don't ask for shit, you know what I mean? We just introduce everybody to each other, and we're going to make 100 collisions, and, you know, maybe 5 or 10 of those will come back our way. And, you know, Like, just let it all fucking happen and work hard and provide value for everybody and don't take. Just give, 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 and then it's just all gonna fucking. It's all starting to roll back to us. Like, we're talking about taking over a dispensary. Basically, there's like this struggling dispensary, and it's like in Hollywood, like on Melrose, and we're in the middle of like a bid for getting these investors to buy it and then give us like 20% to make it a high-rise dispensary and license it to be a high-rise dispensary because
Wow.
we just we partnered up with this like little disposable vape, live resin vape company. They were like brand new. We did a strain with them, a high rise pink lemon strain, sold out of like 3 or 4 thousand vapes within like a month. And then we re-upped. We did another one called the high rise sourdough, and 3,000 vapes sold in like less than 2 weeks. So we're getting into all the dispensaries, and the reps from Roach are just like every single bud tender knows high rise, and we're opening accounts because we're putting the high rise name on it. So we've been doing well, but it's like at this point we're gonna start. The goal is to start licensing out. Like, we're doing good. We're shooting content. We're doing marketing campaigns for everybody. We're doing merch. We're helping build brands, whatever, graphics, branding, logos. But we're working for every single dollar we have. And we've built up this crazy equity in our company and this value that, we work with 500 plus brands in cannabis, or we have. So now we have the platform where all the consumers know who we are, all the bud tenders know who we are, all like lightweight, like the thrasher of weed. So now it's time to like, how do we make royalties? How do we make money off our name instead of just we're working our asses off 10 to 12 hours a day, like cranking shit out, like doing good. But how do we make all the value we've built? How do we make us money? So now it's like licensing deals. Now it's like, cool. Now we're going to partner with this brand to make a high rise strain, or this dispensary and make it a high rise dispensary, and we can like drive all the traffic to it with like with our platform and with our community and stuff. So we're about to launch a edible brand here in the next few weeks. We have it all lined up. We have the packaging, we have the sourcing, we have the partnerships, we have all the contracts written out. So we're going to have an edible line in California called Pyramids, and we're going to do edibles because we've been trying to launch a cannabis flower brand for that's the end game goal for us. That has been, as long as Aaron and I have done this. But when it comes to flower and sourcing and growing and all the different strains, and it's harvesting, and you're growing this one particular plant that could get fucked up, and then you got to get it tested. And what happens if it tests wrong and your whole crop is fucked up? Or what happens if someone goes to a different grow and then they come into your grow and they still have all the like pollen or whatever from the other grow, and they bring it in and it kills your entire fucking crop. So like flour, there's a billion things that could go wrong. Pricing, everybody wants it at this price. The market is going to go up and down. It's going to fluctuate how much pounds are. So we realize with edibles, it's like you have 3 fucking edibles. You have indica, sativa, hybrid. You have 3 SKUs. You run the oil or the distillate or the live red, like whatever you want to put in it. You're not having to have I have 12 strains. Now I got to grow all these 12 strains, and this one didn't yield as much, and this one kind of got fucked up. This one doesn't look as good. This one popped. Like, when it comes to edibles, it's like, cool, dude. The dispensary could be like, I want fucking 12 indica. I want 18 sativa. I want, you know what I mean? And it's like, you have the same consistent 3 products. It's going to In-N-Out. You know what I mean? Like, you go to In-N-Out where you have the same 3 things, or you can go to the Charbroil restaurant that has like steak and eggs all the way to like cheesecake, all the way to fried zucchini. You know what I mean? Like
it's way easier just to go down to 3 and focus on those, because instead of having all that chaos and options, it's like dwindle it down,
Yeah, so that's what we learned, like trying to do this flower brand and talking to all of our clients. You're just like, dude, we want to do it, but it's gonna be a fucking headache. So for now, we're just gonna do this like little edible brand because it's that easy. It's just 3 fucking products, and we don't have to, you just put the oil in it. Honestly, that it's not gonna matter. It's not strain specific oil, so it's not. I don't know. It's not as much of a pain in the ass. So we got that rolling out here in the next couple of weeks, but we just have like a million things going on right now. And
well, I'm so stoked for you guys, because like
crazy.
I've been watching you guys for years and years and years, and it's so cool to see like all your hard work and just your passion, and you guys not giving up and just adjusting and finding what works and moving with the times. And like, you guys have done everything it takes to build up that equity to where you can start making money off of like less of backbreaking work, like you were saying. And I've watched it from the beginning. You guys have been doing this, so like,
Even before this shit,
yeah. So
when we were on World.
I'm just like, you guys inspire me on so many levels, because it's amazing to see people not give up and just keep rolling with the times and adjusting. And it's like a boxing match almost, with trying to figure out how to build a brand and grow it. And you guys are ducking and weaving and counterpunching and just still going, dude. I love it. I fucking love it, dude.
It's exactly what it is, man. It's exactly, and it's like, it's not how hard you can get hit, it's how hard you can take a punch. And like, I've learned in the last couple years, like, I've been so much more non-reactive and patient, and I just don't take things personally. Like the last couple years, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like my age. I don't know if that's experience. I don't know if it's like after my dad passing away, like it just shift, in your mind. But Aaron eats so much fucking shit every single day. Like clients being complete assholes to him when we over delivered. We delivered twice the amount of photos and videos you asked for. They're a million times better than anything on the feed, but you're still going to be a fucking dick to us because you're paying for our service. So you think that you can be a fucking asshole. So Aaron's just putting up, luckily I just sit behind the camera and shoot, not deal with any of that shit. So like Aaron and Josh, our COO, they just get treated like shit every single day. And like, I always say this, first off, we say Aaron is literally the most patient person on the planet. And then two, like, it's almost like a game for him, like how patient he can be when somebody's being an asshole. It's pretty weird. But like the success of High Rise is like based on Aaron's patient and Aaron's ability to just eat shit. And all we do is eat shit every day. Like people are gonna be fucking assholes to you. It's business. People have personal problems and not everybody knows how to fucking control that shit. And people are gonna project their personal stuff on you, whether it's they were stuck in traffic on the way to the meeting and they want to fucking be a dick, or whether their significant other was being like an asshole to them, like people are dickheads. And like I've learned in the last couple of years, and Aaron's just been so good at this, and our success is like a major percentage of that is because this fool can just eat shit and not be phased, not take it personally, not react to it and treat that like snap back at somebody, just literally just be like, okay, cool, I'm saying the right thing back as a good person, and I can sleep at night knowing that like I'm not snapping back at somebody and I'm just taking the shit. And in the future, like, cool, we're gonna fucking continue rising our, in value, and you're the person that talked shit to us in the past. So either you could be sorry, or it's not gonna look good when we work with everybody and everybody knows you're an asshole.
Yeah, I know that one, just to working with in the skateboard industry, is just like, was working with skate shops and all the different types of people that open and run a skate shop. It's not like everyone's a seasoned professional that knows what they're doing. And definitely, like you said, attitudes and communication issues, and trying to work through remotely through fucking computers and not knowing each other and actually shaking hands because of a pandemic. And like, you got to really give people the benefit of the doubt a lot of the times. Like sometimes you just can't respond right away to an email or a text or a DM. You got to let it sit for a while, because you got to not take it, like you said, not take it so personal, and just kind of it's hard, man. That's just like longevity in the game, is learn, like you were saying, you got to learn that over time, is that maybe someone had a really bad day, maybe they're just not as professional as you are. It's like it takes all types to make things run. So the better you can react, the better you can understand yourself and control yourself, the better you'll be able to work with others.
Mm-hmm. And it's like a parallel to like this business thing where people bring assholes. It's just the same shit with like trolls online, right? Like people who are talking shit to you. It's like the same exact thing, the same energy, where like there's times that you just want to be like, man, I could fucking bury you. Like you go to their fucking page, or like you just got the clap back like on point. But it's like, I don't know, I just hit a certain age where you just, okay, I'm not going to send that. And then like an hour later, you're like, thank God I didn't send that, because you're just not in the mood to argue an hour later.
And truthfully, they're just
you're
going to
get
waste
sucked back into it.
Yeah, they're just going to waste your fucking time too,
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, just But every now and again, when you know you just got some bars you got to serve somebody up with, you're like, okay, I'm gonna fucking serve this person up with some bars right now.
Sometimes you got to release some energy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you got to keep that edge on you.
Okay, so let's switch a little bit from work and high rise and stuff. Let's talk some skateboarding stuff. I don't know if you've been skating a lot lately, or have you watched any skating stuff? Have you paid attention to anything that's going on in skateboarding? What's on your
So like
radar?
my skateboard consumption is whatever my Instagram algorithm wants to feed me. And so it's just my homies, to be honest. Like it's fucking great. Like my Instagram algorithm just feeds me the homies that I want to see skate. As thank you, Instagram, you know? So yeah, I just see the super basic shit. I see my boys, I see the all I need dudes, I see my homies, I see just some basic thrasher shit. I see a bunch of dudes I don't know who any of these people are, but they're fucking doing fucked up shit. And then I just see people doing like back over crook, like triple kink rails and like stupid shit. And then every single day I just want to post on my story, a lot of you motherfuckers need to get jobs. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that are like 30 years old that are maybe shop sponsored that still think that they're going to make it in skateboarding. But there's this 12-year-old in Japan doing big flip front blunt, big flip out. Like, that's what I see. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
a lot of y'all need to give up this dream right now and go fucking
it's
contribute to society.
it's a hard pill to. We both know it's a hard pill to
Fuck
swallow because
yeah.
you work so hard for it and you're dreaming about it and you like know it's possible, and then even when you do get it, it's only lasts for so long unless you do have the skills of that a job would have gave you to like maintain
Mm-hmm.
it and keep it going and build it.
Mm-hmm.
Like thank God I've had a good work ethic and worked for other people before I got sponsored, because if I was just one of those young kids who got sponsored and everything was done for me, and then it got taken away because of a recession or just a brand deciding to change direction, I would have been fucking fucked because I would have had no life skills. And then thank God, like I fucking had that work ethic and had real job experience because I was able to get a job and then put that money into my own brand. And then the skills I had from working a job have helped me manage the brand and know how to run it. And so, yeah, there's a lot of dudes out there and skaters out there that, they've been running from responsibility their whole life. And now it's just getting kind of sad because they're too old to be doing that. And they're not like, they're not giving anything back. It's rough.
You know,
It's
I
rough.
might be jaded too because I'm out here, you know? And like
Yeah, that's true.
me,
You're in the mic.
me living out here, I get like every dude who moves out here is like that dude from their town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's probably not a bunch of like leftover people in all the small towns that are like, I'm still gonna make it. You know, it's like dudes that are like out here that are, you know, good too, and you could make it, but it's like we're not fucking, you know, Nija's the chosen one. You know what I mean? Like we're not all the chosen one. Like
The chosen
there's,
one.
you know what I mean? Like nobody else is gonna be fucking Nija making all this money and like living that crazy Justin Bieber life. Like
You can't be a one trick pony either. Like you can't just think that like you're gonna move to California and all you know how to do is skateboard and you're almost 35 and it's just you're gonna keep doing that one trick pony thing and think that all
mm-hmm.
of a sudden you're gonna get some magical Niger sponsored and then your dreams are gonna come true. You gotta like diversify your skills and figure out how to work, bro.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look at like you're saying, like I had a job my whole skate career, you know? Like I didn't have a job for maybe like 6 months or something like that. Like I had a job the whole time and I was shooting photos and I'm not a complete idiot, but when World kicked this all off, I'm like working at the fucking skate shop for less than minimum wage. Like what am I doing, dude? You know? Like and yeah, it's tough. You definitely have to line yourself up and just having skills is cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but like I don't know. I'm not fucking at the spots and shit anymore. Like, no older skater dude from our generation or no pro dude wants to sit here and like talk skating with the flow dude. Like, the flow dude isn't gonna tell the OG something he doesn't know. This
Yeah.
dude's got his fucking like PhD triple black belt, and you got the white belt trying to like bro down with them on skate shit. It's just like the old dude is just advice for younger skaters out here who are getting to hang out, or maybe you get taken on a flow trip. Like everybody has a dope, unique path, like past, like foundation, right? So the old dude, this is his 100th fucking skate trip, like jaded as fuck. The young kid doesn't want to sit here and like, oh, I'm fucking skateboarding. I'm in fucking whatever Miami. I'm at the fucking spot. Like that's literally me blowing it when I was 21 years old. Listen, in
The young
Miami.
kid wants to talk about everything you're saying, right?
Yeah, right. And then the old dude's like, his fucking 100th trip. He's like 30 something. He's like trying to buy a house, or he's like getting into gardening, or he's fucking, you know what I mean? And so it's like, whatever you young kid out there who's like hanging out with these like older dudes, like maybe your parents have a dope garden, maybe you grew up doing like fucking wood shop shit, maybe like cranberry bogging, whatever, like
Yeah.
that's interesting, that's fucking dope, you know what I mean? Like the older dude wants to be like, well,
Yo,
fucking cranberry bogger,
These
you know what I mean?
these petunias is mad dope, yo.
Exactly, like, yo, so like what's the best soil for these orchids, you know? Like I don't know, like some interesting shit. Like that's shit's cool, man. It's like cool. Embrace that, you know, like embrace your little quirky shit you grew up with that most people might be like embarrassed and not want to share. You know, like I grew up and my parents like did this and they had me doing fucking dude, homie that lives at the mansion. He's like one of our clients. He has this brand, this like concentrate brand. His fucking boyfriend been hanging out this whole time, didn't know that this kid was like a fucking national champion figure skater when he was like 14.
Whoa.
Like hung out with this kid for a year, and then we find out this shit, and we're like watching his videos when he's like 14. He's like from Russia, traveled the fucking world, like never mentioned one thing, probably embarrassed of it, like doesn't want to talk about it to us because he's like younger. And we're like, bro, you're literally like national champion, gold medal winner multiple years. Like, you know what that takes to do? Like, and I just immediately just started asking all these questions, fanning out on him. Like, he's like traveling the fucking world. He's been to fucking Tokyo. He's like skated here. He skated there. Like literally living in a crazy, like Macaulay Culkin childhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, that shit's interesting, man. Like, we can all sit here and talk about skating, or, oh, this dude did this trick, or this dude did that trick. But that's like, I'm not gonna be a fucking 35-year-old dude sitting here talking about a trick a 19-year-old did and like having a real opinion that's passionate. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
it's a funny analogy, but it's kind of like, it's like when you're little, it's like all that skate stuff gives you the skate boner you want. You get a little skate boner and you're raging. You're like, oh, fucking backside overgrooks. And when you're older, it takes a little more to get you primed. You know, like you need to talk about some gardening and stuff, and then you're like, oh, I feel the juices moving. Then you might go into like some backside nose grind talk. You know, but it's like
exactly.
you've already overindulged in the skate porn side of things. You know.
Exactly. Especially from our era, it's so different. Like, me and you growing up on the other sides of the country, like same age, like at any given time before the internet, we could have met and been like, bro, did you see Bobby's tricks down the gold rail in DC? Or did you see Jack? Did you see what Jack did on the gold rail? Did you see fucking whatever? Like, we knew every single trick that was ever documented in skateboarding, like before the internet. You know, this is obvious to our generation, but I don't know if the younger generation like comprehends like landline phones and this concept. But like, I could have never met fucking Anthony and like saw Anthony from across the room with some shredded up Excels back in 2000 or 1999 and walked up to him and without knowing each other and be like, dude, you see Muska Will's tailside Will shirt in the new Circa ad? You would have been like, dude, did you see Brian Sumner do the frontside salad on this specific rent? Like, we would know. Like, the secret society, you know, like the secret society of skateboarding back in the day was so sick. Exactly.
And
now
our love for Nollie Heels is just like, we connect there too, you know?
Yeah, like, fuck, this dude Nollie Crook Brea 12. I want to do that, but sick. Now I don't have to do it because
I did it.
Scared.
I was that dude.
I know. That was you. And I was like, dude, I wanted to do it, but I was like really scared I was going to sack the shit out of my nuts. And when you did it, I was like kind of jelly, but also like relieved, you know, because it was like my local rail, and I knew I could do it, but I didn't want to try because I was like, I'm not trying to go to the hospital.
Well, if you snooze, you lose, you know?
Yeah, fuck you. Let this dude do it.
I was
Team
coming out from
journeyman.
the East Coast, and I was just fresh on Birdhouse, and I needed an ad for Tony. So I had the fire. I was like, I'll sack this thing 5 times if I get an ad for Tony, you know?
Fucking monster.
Yeah, I
Dude,
was
so
juiced.
my first photo, my like first photo in Thrasher. I don't know if I have it at the other house. I don't know if I have one laying around right here, but my first photo of Thrasher was like the burial heel crook contents or whatever. And it's like I think it's the photo before or after is your birdhouse ad, like kick
What?
flipping into the riverbed. And I'm just like, dude, it's so crazy how life works. It's like the next page, like you turn the page and it's like me, and you turn the page, it's you, and it's just like fucking 2004. You know what I mean?
So wild. So
Yeah.
wild.
It's all
Yeah.
that's like how I look at life so much is just doing shit now for that. Like everything I do at High Rise, and I tell everybody, like everything I'm doing right now is for 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Like we work our fucking asses off right now, so in like 10 years, we're all chilling and we're like sitting in like Italy drinking espresso, laughing about how we used to eat shit. You know, the come
Yeah.
up.
That's a difference from being young and then getting to our age is you start to realize you got to plan for the future. It's not going to happen. So then you start in the present, you work your ass off until you can get your head above water a little bit and look out a year or two. And then once you get that, then you're working your ass off, and then you get a little more of your head out water, and then you can look 5 years down the road and start making moves for that. And so that's a grind to get to that point, you know, but it's a good it's good to be able to have that vision looking out into the future and it gives you purpose too, because you're aiming at something beyond yourself that you can move towards. So it's good,
That's
man.
everything.
Yeah.
The whole something beyond yourself too is something that like has hit me like the last year or two. It's like it's similar to people who like I know neither of us are like religious. We have our own like feelings towards spirituality or whatever, but like it's like really doing something bigger than yourself, you know? And like we work with a bunch of influencers and people who are like that's their personal brand. But it's really hard to navigate those waters because you have like your emotions and you have like your ego dragging you so many different directions where like when we're doing something for High Rise, it's like, fuck what how I feel. Is this the best for the future of High Rise? Like, is me getting treated like shit by somebody and wanting to snap on them worth burning a bridge for High Rise in the future? Like, when you have something that's like bigger than yourself, it holds you accountable, and it's like will benefit your life so much more. Because, like I said, we work with all these influencers, and they're self-serving. Everything is so self-serving, and then they end up reacting to things based on their ego, and then that burns a bridge, and then that just sets the butterfly effect into motion of bad, more negative things and interactions and conflicts. To where if you're something bigger, like you with All I Need, like, or the boys, all the homies with All I Need, like you're gonna have to be on your best behavior when you go to a skate park. They're not shitty people, but like you're representing All I Need. You know what I mean? And like we want everybody to love our team and be down for the fucking brand. So when we all show up to the park or the spot, we're gonna be respectful. That same
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah,
Like
it's awesome to have that self-awareness enough to know that there's things bigger beyond yourself. It's hard though. It's hard. Especially when you're not in control of yourself and you don't have control over your emotions and the gifts you've been given. That's a lot of things. Like when you're young, you're born into the world and everything's new and it's chaos, and you're just like your perceptions and everything turn on and it's all overstimulating and you're trying to figure it out. And then culture comes in and society comes in and they pull you in directions you might not want to go, and just trying to mold you into something, and you're still trying to figure out your faculties and how to use everything and how to like it's like such a chaotic thing, but it's amazing when you can get to the point where you can like almost cancel all that out, take the good from it, let go of the bad, and then focus on yourself and focus on your perception and focus on listening, and try to use those gifts as tools to like kind of figure out where you can find like some sort of happiness and work and all that stuff. And it's really hard to do that, like the world doesn't allow us to grow, like everything's set up almost the opposite. It's almost to fool you and put you in a trap to make money off you. It's not like let's allow the individual to flourish and expand and develop with their capacities so they can understand themselves, and then once they do that, then they can help the external world, you know. But it's like the whole world's like set up to like fit you in a box, make you do this, that, you know. I'm like, it's insane, man. The
Like
whole thing.
at what age? Because like I know you've had like the craziest like upbringing ever. And what age or what point in time did you feel like, okay, everything's like slowing down, things are starting to make sense. I have a little bit of security now, I can build. Because like that's a big thing too, is like having no direction, having no vision, having no security. You're just trying to like float and stay above water, and it's hard to flourish when you're just fucking doggy paddling trying to tread water, you know what I mean? Once you do get that little bit of foundation, like you're on land, like you're no longer treading water. I made it onto the shore, I'm on land, I have this foundation, now I can grow, and now I can fucking boom. But yeah, like, you know, me being 30, getting kicked off world, making less than minimum wage, having no life skills, trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do, like the first, you know, however many years, just that struggle, like fuck, this is hard, you know. Like you've been in that, and people listening, like, you know, maybe a bunch of people are in that, and it's like just the treading water is so hard. But you do, if you just keep your fucking head down, you stop like worrying about yourself, and like you're getting yourself out of that. Once you get that foundation, shit just takes off from there. But like at what point for you did you hit that where you were like, okay, now I feel kind of secure, like now I can build on the security that I have, you
So
know?
yeah, I do. So when I lost my sponsors, that was a wake up call for sure. Because then it was like, all right, this money's not coming in anymore, and I gotta
This
go.
world.
Yeah, this was World when the that ended. But I also, like I said, I worked jobs beforehand, so I knew I had a work ethic. And then when I lost the sponsors, that just gave me the fire. It like allowed me to go, okay, now it's fully on me. So I was like, I don't have a sponsor. I am a sponsor now. I got to sponsor my fucking self. So first thing I did was get a job. And when I got a job, uh at first it fucking sucked again because I was like, fuck, I don't have my own time. Like I have someone owns my time right now. I'm renting my time out, you know? And that was kind of rough because I'm like, there's so much I want to be doing with my time. You have dreams and aspirations and whatever. But by working for someone else, it allowed me to build up that like that sense of like, okay, I got to start hustling and figure out a way to get back some of my time, you know, like, because right now, if I don't figure something out, they're just going to have all my time and I'm going to be working for less than I deserve because that's what a job is. Most jobs, anyways. Um, so then I just started hustling. I was like, no, I'm just going to figure this out. It just gave me the like sense of urgency to focus on fucking all I need, which is skateboarding. So then I just started thinking about that and building platforms to kind of promote skateboarding, like the YouTube channel, the podcast. I was like, this is something that I can do that I'll enjoy, that I can build in towards the future. Like we were already talking, you know, about building towards the future. And I was working. So when you start working for someone else, that's a good thing. Like if you're young, man, the fastest way to become your own boss is to work for someone else because you become an apprentice and you got to learn what your time's worth, you know, because they're going to tell you, they're going to go, you're worth minimum wage. And then you're going to have to prove yourself that you can do that job excellent. And then if they won't give you a raise, then you got to fucking get your shit together and reach out for another job that'll give you a raise, or work that job while working on a side project that can make you more money so you can have some streams of revenue coming in so you're more independent. But it's basically when you become independent, that's when I felt like, okay, now like no one can take this shit from me. You know what I mean? Like I have multiple streams of revenue coming in, and if the bottom falls out, I still got some money coming in. And then, but having a good work ethic too really helps with that. Cause then, you know, if the bottom falls out, you know, you can hustle, you can work hard, and you can, there's jobs out there. I know the news and everything is like, there's no jobs, but like, there's people that need hard work and dedicated people. And even if you don't like the job, but you have a dream you're working on and you know that job will pay you and cover your bills while you work on your passion, then that gives you determination to keep working and help that business thrive, you know? And if you help them work, you're going to get that paycheck, and then you can put some of it into your own thing until you can figure out a way to make that your full-time thing. What was the question again, though? Sorry. Just so I can.
Just basically like when you kind of like, at what point did you feel like the you had the security, like, you know,
Oh,
your whole
yeah.
life just being like fuck, like, is this gonna work out, like, because it's so hard to really level up when you have that feeling, when you have the uncertainty, the feeling of insecurity and uncertainty that, like, is this gonna work out in my life, like, you can't put your full effort, like, you can use that energy to like go hard in times that you need to go hard, but like
Yeah.
having that weight on you, it's really hard to grow when you have the weight of like, is it gonna be okay, you know? And like, at what point, like, was it, you know, like after like the world thing and the All I Need, where you're like working and you got the shit going on at the edge, you know? Was it
Yeah.
that point where you were like, okay, cool, now I just feel like it's all good, I'm secure, I can build myself and build all these kids around me, you know?
So, yeah. So, okay. So I was on the right path. I can give you a specific time in my life, but really it's when you strip yourself down. It's like you gotta, I heard a saying from someone, it was like, modern man can't see God because he doesn't look low enough. So it's like you gotta strip yourself down, especially in this society in America. It's like everything's about things, you know, it's all about, we worship things, we worship material things more than the human soul. So if you can do without anything, if you can strip your life down to the bare necessities, like I wake up, I have a breath in my lungs, I can think, my perceptions turn on, I can hear and see. You know, and you don't take those things for granted, and you can wake up sober every day and go, I'll take on anything. I don't care if I have to work a job. It's not going to deter me. I am driven. I have a mission. And some people never have that. I've been fortunate to have that just because I grew up in fucking chaos and I lost everything early. Lost my father at 12. My mom was lost most of my life because her drug addiction and the hell she was in. So I didn't really have a mother, like a conventional mother. I just had someone I had to worry about, basically. Um, so I just always was like, I'm the fucking captain of this ship. Like, if I don't figure this out, like, I'm gonna go to hell, basically, literally and figuratively.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
but like, so in life, it's like you got to strip yourself down to nothing and see if you can survive. And when you get to that bottom, that the bottom of the pit, and you're like, fuck it, I can work my way up from here, and I can survive with very little and still be happy and still find ways to move forward. That's hard for people, but it's because if you lust after things, then you're always going to be behind because there's never enough things, you know? And it doesn't mean something if that's all you want is that thing, because you're going to get that thing and then you're going to want another thing and another thing and another thing. So, much like you were saying when you're talking about all the work you've been doing, Derek, and all the things you've been doing for a long time, and the things that bring you joy and give you purpose and make you feel alive, those things you lose yourself in and you lose track of time. If you follow those things, they're not necessarily things, but those actions and those feelings, if you follow those will lead you in the right direction, you know? But when you're young, you got to strip yourself of all that shit and swallow your ego and realize, like, hey, I don't like, your mind will deceive you. You'll think you'll have everything figured out because you're trying to express yourself and figure it out. And you're hanging around with a bunch of other people that are doing the same thing. And you're all feeding off each other's chaos. It's like good to know that we're faulty, unfinished people and we're trying to figure it out, you know? So it's hard, man. It's really hard. But for me, it was just like stripping myself down to nothing and then working up from that. And that was kind of when I was really young. I had that. So getting sponsored and stuff, like, it kind of defined me. I was like, yeah, I'm a sponsored skater, and I was very proud of it. And then when that got
Yeah.
when that got taken away, it hurt a little bit, but I also knew that I had already been to the bottom, which was way worse than losing sponsors. It was like losing loved ones, you know, which is way worse. And I survived that
Yeah.
shit. I fucking survived that shit and actually kept going, and I pursued a dream and kept it going. So like that helped me. But like, yeah, so I don't know. I just know that, like, if we can wake up every day and not take the things that we have for granted, like our gifts, our natural gifts that are given to us, not, you know, and then we can develop those, and we can earn anything we want in life, you know. It's just a matter of harnessing your powers, but it's really hard, man. But there was no like real moment when I lost all my
Yeah.
sponsors and I started All I Need. I guess that's the real external moment, because I was like, all I need is, it made me focus because I put it out there. I was like, if I call my brand All I Need, it sounds selfish, you know? And I was like, yeah, but what if the things I'm chasing after aren't selfish? Like they're for skateboarding, because I love skateboarding like all of us. And I was like, I really want to keep skateboarding in my life, even if I have to like serve skateboarding and not be the star, you know? And like, because I was already the star and people worked behind the scenes to help me be the pro and help me get in the mags and the vids and shit. And I just knew I was getting older and I couldn't even keep that up anyways. Like there's a diminishing life on that. Like, so when I called it All I Need, I was like, yeah, this might be taken the wrong way. But then I was like, nah, like trust yourself. Like you have good intentions. You love skateboarding. It helped you grow. It's improved your life. It helped you get over the loss of your father. It helped you deal with your mom's addiction problems. It helped you like travel the world. Like, like let's keep following that. And it truly is a necessity, you know? So like that, I guess that's the moment when I called it All I Need and put it out into the world. I thought people would, and at first people did misconstrue it and take it for like a different thing, you know? But now it's like after all the years of doing it, people get it because they just kind of apply it to themselves. They're like, oh yeah, all I need. What do I need? You know, like I don't have like,
Hmm.
the brand's not one of those brands where I get, it's not like a baker where it's like we all have to be into a certain thing and whatever. It's more like you internalize the brand and make it whatever. All the people on the team are
Hmm.
their own individuals that represent for themselves, you know? It's like that was always my dream team too, was like I never wanted to have a team full of the same dude. I was like, we need a lot of different talents and strengths and personalities, and that's what makes a sick team, you know? So like to name it All I Need is like, and to get people to understand that, which was amazing, you know, that you guys understand that and we're like, yeah, I'm fucking down for this. Um, really helped me out a lot. But yeah, I guess that's the moment, like when I started the brand, really, because that's when I put it out there. Because I always had these thoughts and feelings behind the scenes, you know, but like to put it out there and like hope someone would understand it or relate to it. That was the moment where I'm like, yeah, once people got it, like I'm like, all right, we're going. This is it. Like I'm fine. And just
It's yeah.
being independent is a hard thing for people. It really fucking is, because sometimes you get paid by someone and you like what you do, but they really are they hold that job over you. They hold that sponsor over you. And when that's gone, if you defined yourself by that, then you're lost and you have to figure out who the fuck you are. So again, strip yourself down to just the necessities, survive from there, and then start figuring out how to be in control of your life, your time, your money, all that stuff, which is we all are going through that. We all are, you know, especially now with all the censorship stuff and all these jobs being like, can't say this, you got to think this way, you got to do that. Like, well, everyone's trying to conform you into some fucking woke shit. And you're like, it's just not good, man.
No, it's
I hope
not.
I
Yeah,
answered your question, basically.
yeah. It seems like it's like when you started the brand, and it's like you started the brand, and that was the purpose. It gave you. It's just a purpose bigger than you. Now and
Yeah.
especially the way you operate, you're not just like putting these kids on to blow up the brand. You're putting these kids on because you want to fucking nurture them and flower them and like get them their flowers in the future and like help raise men. You know what I mean? And productive members of society that can also enjoy skateboarding, not like giving these kids a fucking false dream that they're gonna like go move to California and go skate Tampa and you could be the next Jamie Foy. Like fuck that. Like
Yeah, like create a
I don't
bubble
know. It's
for
just
them. Create a bubble for them.
exactly. This is like
You said
reality.
it perfect earlier, Derek. It was like that's basically what All I Need is for me. Like you were saying with high rise, it's like we're working 5 years out now. Like everything we do with high rise is we're building for the future. And that was always been my mentality with All I Need, was like, because I felt like it was, I introduced the brand a little early ahead of its time. So I've always been working towards the future with the brand. Like every move I've ever made was a sacrifice now so that we can have something in the future. And that takes time, like you're saying.
Even as far as like you having a full-time job and then also doing the world thing so that you could put all the money back into All I Need. Like with high rise, the first, until we started the agency, we did manufacturing for other people like merch, and then we paid ourselves with the merch and just put all the money back into high rise, like
I remember
sacrificing,
that.
sacrificing, sacrificing, and it's the same thing with All I Need, where it's like if you're like, I'm going to start a company, everybody wants to start a brand or whatever, but you're trying to pay yourself with that brand like immediately, that's gonna fuck. It's the same thing if you're skating to be sponsored. Like that's just gonna throw a fucking wrench in your mindset, and it's just gonna put pressure on you that you need to make money, and now you're gonna make all these decisions that you wouldn't make because you're under pressure.
Yeah, because
You
that
know,
takes getting sponsored is not an easy thing, and it takes time. So if that's your only goal, it's not going to happen instantly because that only happens to like 1%, and then you're going to be like bummed out because you're like, I'm not reaching my goals. You know, like
exactly. And then
yeah,
you're gonna be like, maybe I need to skate like this. They want them, and you're getting in your own fucking head, just being self conscious. Where if you could work another job, like my girlfriend, like Jen, she has her vegan bakery, and like she's
caffeinated
fucking
kitchen.
killing it. Yeah, she's killing it. And the same shit. She had 3 jobs and she baked to start. Then she got more accounts. Then she quit one of her jobs and she got more accounts and she just trickled it in. It just really takes the pressure off. I need to survive off my passion project. Like let that shit grow organically, and in the long term that shit'll work out. I don't know. I love it. It's like what we have with high rise, what you have, it's what Jen has. Like we're all in the same exact path, just blue collar as fuck. Like I was literally thinking the other day, dude, like I was like, who the fuck is more blue collar than you in skateboarding? Like I was trying to think, like, I mean, maybe some OGs like Wade Spayer, who literally like drove a fucking semi truck or something like that. The first dude to Crooked Grind, Hubba Hideout and shit. But like in terms of like our era of skateboarding, like blue collar and longevity, like I'm sure there's been dudes who've like come in and out of the industry, and within our career, like a quick dude who came in for 9 months or 18 months that was like gnarly blue collar, but like full journeyman blue collar, like we're on Family Feud, and Steve Harvey's like, "I'm a blue collar skateboarder. Like, you're gonna be up on that board, bro." Like,
Ding!
I was like thinking about it. Like, I don't know.
I've been very open about my whole plight and things that I've been doing, just because being open about it has kept me in check and kept me having to like stay true to what I'm saying and keep me on the right path, instead of trying to lie to myself or others. I've been very honest about everything since the beginning, since I started skating, because I was a realist about skateboarding. Like I knew that like my sponsorship run was going to end at some point. I went into it knowing that, because I learned that from losing my father. Was like, oh, things don't last forever. There's finite. We're finite. We're in the infinite, but time is finite for us, and we're gonna have to. So like, I always had that mindset as a young kid. Like, I want to get to the top of the hill, but the top of the hill is just the top of the hill, and then you go down and go up, and go down and go up. So like, and I've been very honest about all that stuff in my life and about but yeah, I don't know. I don't. There's no other way, man. I don't know what to say. Like, if you want to keep your dream going after the sponsor's gone, then you're gonna have to work for it, and that's blue collar. Blue collar is waking up every day, realizing I need a schedule, realizing that it's not gonna be handed to you, realizing that you got to work for it and grind it out, and then and if you're fortunate and you're making the right sacrifices, then maybe you can work yourself out of that blue collar and help other people get into the blue collar position, because they might need that. Some people don't even have jobs and they need that like apprenticeship, or they need that fucking minimum wage job so they can develop themselves and figure out how to work how to manage their time and how to work with other people and how to move up from there. It's all a process. We come in the world like with everything we need, but we need to take those gifts and develop them. And it's like when you're young, you don't want to admit that. You rather just pretend like you're a rock star and that it's magically going to be given to you. And sometimes it will, but when that happens, a lot of times it's just taken away from you just as fast, because it was easy come, easy go type shit. So like, no matter what, dude, as an individual, we need to develop our gifts that we have, and our gifts are like being able to see. So look at things that are beautiful, that you enjoy, that bring you pleasure, that are, look at things that aren't going to bring you down. Listen to people that as much as you can, and try not to consume too much garbage, and like try to listen to things and that help you
Listen to
grow.
yourself. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like so much of the finding a gift is like hard for people. I feel like because you don't realize what your gift is because it's so normal to you. Like I grew up like my dad was a fucking food photographer, so I grew up in his studio as a kid. I don't fucking know, like I had this gift because I grew up around my dad. So like when I get older and I'm into photography, it's like, oh, I can shoot product photography. Like it is a gift because I grew up around it, but I didn't realize it was a gift because it's so normal. It's like I was saying earlier, like maybe your fucking parents are gardeners or not, or like they have a nursery or you know, they grow some shit in their backyard, like, and you know how to grow shit when you're like 9 years old. You don't realize that's a gift when you're like 17, 18, because you're not thinking about like, I want to grow these heirloom tomatoes. You're thinking about like what the new fucking NBA YoungBoy track is or whatever, you know, like you don't realize it's a gift.
All the glitters is not gold, my friend. Yeah, when you're young.
Exactly. So like the unique, like every single one of us has like a super unique childhood and upbringing with adversity and, you know, with some positive shit. And it's all, that's our unique gift. And like what I was just thinking about this as you're talking, it's like what you learn from the adversity is the gift, because that's like the growth, right? Like we all had go through it. If not, we all, like everybody goes through their own version of adversity, you know, the spectrum of
Definitely.
it.
We're all gonna lose our life, so no one gets out of this ride without taking a loss. Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's, you know, whatever it doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's the same shit. It's just like those gifts come out of adversity, you know, and we're just, when you're young, you're just like, fuck, this sucks. This sucks. Adversity or whatever. Like, don't even know the word adversity, just bad shit's happening to me, you know, but like coming out of the other side of that is the gift, you know, you just don't realize it until you're like our age.
Yeah. And
you know,
that's so true.
Hopefully you realize it when you're our age.
And it's hard to have some gratitude if everyone's doing things for you. So it's like you got to have some gratitude even for those negative things, because those are your chance to turn them into positive, which you'll develop if you can do that. If you can take L's and learn how to carry those L's forward and then let go of them and turn them into something positive, that's something as a young person you got to learn to do. Because the longer you pursue anything, what you're doing in your life, you're pursuing your life. Like if we're lucky, we get to be a son, we get to be a brother, we get to be a uncle, a grandfather, like, and you pursue those things and you try to get better at them. So it's like, yeah, I agree with you, man. And it's like a lot of it is being grateful for all the things that come your way, good or bad. And that's really fucking hard to do, because like I still struggle with that. Like I wake up and I'm having a bad day, and like on the bad days where I make them into good days is the days where I go, when something's going wrong and I'm angry and I'm pissed off and I'm talking to myself like I'm in fucking hell, and I'm like, and it could be something trivial or it could be a real fucking serious issue. It's when I take a deep breath and I'm like, thank you, please, thank you, please, and thank you. And I stop and literally say that to myself, or I'll say it out loud and just go, please and thank you, please and thank you, please help me, please guide me, please. And I don't even know who I'm talking to at the time. Maybe myself, maybe something else. I don't fucking know. Doesn't matter.
Just say it. Just your inner monologue says it.
And then thank you is just like, thank you. Thank you for this chance to deal with this. Thank you for the feelings and everything, good and bad. If you don't take the things for granted, then you can work with them and try to turn them into positive or use them to help yourself develop. And that's a hard thing just to remember. And our emotions overtake us, you know, like, and that's why it's really important to get control, understand yourself, strip yourself down. That means no drugs, none of that shit. Understand yourself sober as fuck, so you can go, this is who I am. This is how I feel. This is what I think at the moment. And then you can get control of those things, and then you can start to figure out what you can take in and how you can adjust. And like, it's really hard, man. But those are the moments like where I have a really hard day and I can stop and actually still remember to be grateful and just go, oh, it's just a temporary problem. Just a temporary problem, you know? Those are the moments, dude.
I'll lay in bed and I'll just like be grateful for things and just start rattling off a list. And what I've been doing like the last like 6 months is like 6 months to a year, just be like, not just be like, I'm thankful for my mother or my fucking Jen or Aaron. Like that's whatever. That's a given. I'm literally thinking, like, I'll start running through my head, like, I'm thankful for this shitty ass mattress that I have. Like, I'm thankful for like my fucking $7 house shoes that I got at Big Lots. Like, it's more detailed shit, because I like to watch a lot of like fucked up shit, like adversity stuff, you know. Like my favorite things to watch in life are like people overcoming adversity and achieving like that Kevin Garnett anything can happen moment. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that to me is like, I'll get chills just thinking about it. And that's like what inspires me, is seeing people like I'll watch some shit, and the team that I wanted to lose is gonna win, and I'll still sit there and watch KG do that, because that's to me what life is all about, like overcoming, and like you're doing the one thing that you worked your entire life for, and you sacrificed 20 years of your life. Like, I love that. I would love watching like UFC fights where, like, even if it's the dude's first fight in the UFC, like he trained his whole, like, might as well be a championship fight. He trained his whole life for that first fight, and like sacrificed family shit, sacrificed all this. And like, I love watching that. So, or watching people struggle, like some super fucked up movie, you know, like, um, somebody just coming from fucking nothing, you know, and like, so that makes me sit there laying in bed like, I'm thankful for this pillowcase. I'm
Yeah.
thankful for this fucking mason jar. I'm not drinking out of my fucking hand some shitty ass water, you know? Like, so that's the shit that I've tried to do when I'm like laying in bed, is like the tiniest fucking things that you just completely take for granted. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll take my girlfriend for granted. We'll take our friends for granted, but like, we really be taking like the butane that goes in this lighter, you know, like, dude, we
Yeah.
have that. Like, we could easily not. We could be living in fucking Cameroon and like shoveling dirt in a salt mine or some shit like that, you know.
For real.
But
And
then
it
also, like, go ahead.
I'll say it real quick. Remember your point, okay? It's really, really fucking important to apply that as practice in your life. So like, it's easy to say that, but it's hard to actually do it every day and go
Hmm.
take a second out of your day to actually stop and go, yeah, thank you for this and that. Like, actually do that, because it's easy to say that, you know. And I, for a long time, I would
Hmm.
say that. I would just mutter that. I'd be like, I'm thankful for everything, and I was, but I wasn't practicing it daily. I was caught up in my
Hmm.
emotions and inertia of life, you know. But now I'm like actually taking that second every day to remind myself, and that's the practice that Allen Iverson's talking about.
It's, yeah, that practice. We talk about
Talk
practice.
about
Yeah,
practice.
it's
I'm just kidding.
programming. It's literally
Yeah.
programming
What
yourself.
were you gonna
You're
say though before we
programming
get too far?
yourself. Just the difference between, I've been thinking a lot the last like few weeks, the difference between just self-conscious and self-awareness. Like, self-awareness is like reading a bunch of shit where, like, you know, in the past are talking about like the point of life is like to achieve self-awareness before you die or whatever. Just like, hopefully before you die, hope you could do it in your 20s if you're, or whatever, you know, like we're getting there now. But like, self-awareness where you're just truly aware of self, you know how you're acting, you know how you're acting around other people, how so that they react a certain way, like. And then there's self-conscious where, like, I'm looking at the definition of any of these, but like, it's the idea where the self-conscious is you're worried how people are perceiving you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, what do I look like? Look at myself in the mirror. Like, oh, I want to look cool. Like, oh, am I going to look stupid if I say this? It's like, that's like all about you. And then you're going to react a certain way. Whereas if you're just self aware, you give a fuck what you're wearing, but
Yeah.
your intentions with everything you say and your actions and your body language, you know, in whatever action, you know, whatever you're doing, you're aware, instead of like, self-conscious is how do I look? How are other people looking at me? You know?
Yeah.
And I never really like thought about those two things until like a few weeks ago. And I just see it a lot, like work with a lot of like influencers, and that they're very self-conscious, you know, they're worried about how other people see them. Where if you're aware, you just are aware with how you are acting, and you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
not
I
doing a
do.
great job articulating this.
No, you did. You did a perfect job. These aren't easy concepts either, you know. But yeah, I totally know what you mean. Self-aware is good because you're aware of your faults too, not just your virtues, you know. And being conscious,
Hmm.
you could be conscious, like you can be alive. That's what to be alive is, to be a conscience of things, and like, but to be
Hmm.
aware of who you are and how you feel and what you act, you know, or how you act is like a really, really important. Definitely, the more you understand yourself, the more you can understand other people. Like, we have more alike than we have difference. You know, we're animals and we have same gifts, a lot of the same gifts, you know, just people are exercising, some are exercising the gifts and other ones are taking them for granted and everything in between.
Hmm.
So, and that's the journey, is like being able to self reflect on yourself, look inwards and understand your virtues and your faults, and then just try to play the cards you're dealt and get better. And that's a daily struggle, and when you're young, it's like you almost are going off of just your ego because you don't have enough experience in life and you haven't been tested enough. So you're just like, you're trying to fake the funk so much, but the better move is not to necessarily fake the funk. It's to just get in the fucking fire and try to make something out of it, try to figure it out, take those hits and try to pick yourself back up and learn from them and grow from those mistakes, and then try to make less of them and just keep going. And that like, having self-awareness helps because you're aware, I'm not perfect. I'm not the best thing ever. Like, I could be better. I could every day try to remember I could be better. And then if you're aware of what you're saying, that's a power, because we have the power of speech to articulate how you feel. But if you don't understand, if you don't use that to serve you, you might use it to destroy you. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people use their language and they talk ill of themselves and everything around them. And then guess what? Your
Speak into
reality.
existence. You speak that shit into existence. You speak the positive shit into existence. I've literally seen dudes get worse at skateboarding because they were so humble that they would just like talk shit on themselves. Like, nah, man, I suck. Nah, man, I suck. And these dudes were sick as fuck. And then I would watch them put a ceiling on themselves because the way they talked about themselves. And then I would see other younger homies start hanging out with these dudes and start having that same attitude and just verbalizing like, nah, bro, like, I can't do it. I'm not fucking good enough. I'm like, fool, you're like switch trade flipping the 3-block fucking first try out of the car. You're like 16. What are you back then? You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? But like, he hung out with the older dudes and then and then they separated and the homies started getting positive again. Now he's shredding. Like, I've just seen people verbalize their shit. Like, I almost probably, when I was younger, like, probably fucking like went the other way, where I was just like thinking that I was like fucking so dope, where I'm like trying to verbalize myself being fucking, like elevating myself, or that is some Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor shit. You speak it into fucking existence. You know what I mean? And then but if you work, you can speak into if you believe it, you could speak into existence, and you believe it. If you can work your fucking ass off and do everything you need to do, you'll just make it happen.
Yeah, it's a balancing act between what you say and what you do. Actions speak louder than words, but the words are powerful if you can understand what you're saying, if you can use it, if you can articulate what you're really feeling and you can get that across, it'll help if you back it up with actions,
Yeah.
And
That's the 1% is the saying it. The 99% is the, like, with high rise. We've literally spoken everything into existence with high rise. Me and Aaron talking about this the other day. Like, we wanted an event space. The beginning of last year, we're like, yo, we need an event space by the end of this year. By August, it just came together. But we're just saying things to each other. Like, yo, we need to do this. And he's just like, Roger that. Like, it's not like we go into the work right away doing that.
yeah.
We'll just be like, yo, we need this in the next like 2 years, or in the next like 6 months, bro. We need to have we need to be friends with like some lawyers and shit. We'll just say that. But then we just go back to the daily grind, like fucking 50 to 80 hours a week. And then the next thing you know, we're just putting that into existence. And next thing you know, like 2 weeks later, lawyers at our party were throwing down with them. Or the next thing you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, we say it, but we're not like, we need to get this dude and then really just start pressure and trying to make it happen with everything. We just fucking say it, throw it into the atmosphere, and then just do the fucking work as hard as we can, and shit will come back.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely good to say it, because then it gives you like, okay, we said it, and there's a little pressure. Like, okay, we said it. Now let's like do all the work to get to it. Because some people just say it and then they never do the work, and they just keep saying it, and then people are like, "You're full of shit." I know tons of people like that, especially like there's been tons of people like that growing up, where they were just like, yeah, I want to do this, and then their actions don't match their words, and they really thought that if they just said it to a bunch of people that it would just happen. And it's like, it's kind of not how it works. It's like, you gotta work for it too, like, so it's those are things that are obvious, but like we take it for granted, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just practice. It's the practice and the discipline of like trying it. Like, we're skateboarders, right? So who's taking more L's than us, dude? Like, how long did it take you to do a fucking big heel board side down a handrail? Like, that shit's taken thousands of tries to try it. Like, It took me 6 months to land this my first shittiest kickflip ever. You know, like nobody takes L's like us. Like Jerry Seinfeld talks about that, how like skateboarders will just won't give up. You know, and if we
Yeah.
can just do that with anything, like, and we've tried everything, dude. Like trying a trick, like talk to yourself, try a mantra, tap your board 3 times, spin your wheels, like literally gambling, you know, like somebody who's like at a fucking like slot machine, like doing different little things, trying to like for superstition. That's skateboarders, you know, like we try every little different thing, talk to ourselves, hype ourselves up, like OCD, like, you know, like we're going to find a way to make it happen.
Yeah. Thank
So
God for
like in real
skateboarding.
life too, like
Yeah.
just testing all the different ways to make shit happen, you know, like that's the gift. The gift is like, dude, if you fucking landed a tray flip, if you know how to tray flip, and you know how many people nowadays do you know that don't skateboard but they can tray flip?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people. Like, yo, if you can learn a tray flip like that, like you can pretty much learn anything in life.
Apply
You
the
know,
same principle of all that practice and not giving up to anything, and you're going to be successful.
fucking learn anything if you can learn how to tray flip.
I feel like those of us who have stuck with skateboarding, it's given us a leg up in these crazy times because we've definitely, like everything you were just saying, we've taken an idea. I feel like I'm going to start sounding like Mark Johnson right now, but something that was just a pure thought, a pure idea, and you took it and then you worked towards it in increments to the point where it became reality. And then when you landed one, that wasn't a fucking enough because you didn't picture it that way. You pictured it better than that. And you kept going until you got that tray flip as crispy and buttery as like a KFC biscuit. And like that is like what you gotta do. You gotta apply that to everything in your life. You gotta picture
Never being
something.
satisfied.
Yeah, you gotta picture something that's like a dream or something that you could imagine that's beautiful or something that you just really are like, I can make that a reality, and then just work your ass off and don't even be satisfied. Like enjoy it and be satisfied, but know that's only a plateau and there's something above that too, and keep going and keep going. And then you're polishing those turds for a long time. I did a switch tray
Yeah.
yesterday, Derek, at 30. I'm 38 now, and I really didn't think I was going to do another switch tray. I'm 38, and I have no ACL on my left knee and tons of arthritis.
Oh, that sounds so bad. Popping off the left, dude. Even just
Yep, it's
popping a
my
switch
left.
tray with my left knee sounds so bad right
Yep.
now. Sounds so
Dude,
painful.
I fucking didn't think I was ever going to do another switch tray because I can barely kickflip most days. And I was skating, like I said, I was skating with all these young kids, and they were juiced. They didn't have their masks on, and they were just like loving skating, and they were fucking. It was so cool to watch again. It was so refreshing. And then they were just like, "Yo, can you do a switch tray?" And I was already doing kickflips because I was just like my arthritis, and it was kind of warm, so that has helping. And then I just flung a couple, and then I sat down for a long time and like filmed these dudes and watched them land tricks, and they got at them all. And then like when they got bored and they were like looking at me, I was like, okay. And I got up and I just did a crispy ass switch tray, and I was like, oh. And the kids were like,
Dude.
and this homie Anders, he's like 12 years old, and I've been skating with him a lot. And he's a very talented young kid who's got the whole future ahead of him if he keeps on the right path. He was like, he literally said that, like, he was like, dude, it must feel good to know that you still have switch trays. And I was like, yeah, it fucking does, dude. I literally
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd ever
Fuck
do one.
yeah.
Yeah. And that was
Dude,
my favorite
fuck
trick.
yeah.
That was one of my favorite tricks. And he didn't even know that. He didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And then last night too, I rolled in on this like 8-foot quarter pipe or something. And my little homie Chloe, she was like, I rolled in and then I was skating around. I could hear her. She's like, "Yo, Anthony just rolled in on rolled in on this." And she was like, "Never seen him do that before." And I was like, "Oh yeah," because a lot of times I skate with those kids. It's like I'm more focused on filming them or like trying to talk them through a trick, talk them through a trick or like whatever, or listen to them and try to let them do their thing. That like I forget I don't even really skate sometimes, and I'm like I feel like an imposter, you know. But like when I have a good day like that, and I actually kind of like do some tricks, I'm like, they don't even know that like half the shit I've done on a skateboard. You know what I mean? They have no clue.
No.
Like they're like, wow, he's
No.
actually pretty good. He's not just the dude that shows up and like films us. You know?
So have you watched? I know you do like the video review. You like watch reviews and do commentary, or you don't watch reviews. You watch skate video parts and do commentary and shit. Do you ever go over your old shit and like do a little
I
skate
should.
companion, and where you're like, pause. Okay, you're like, okay, this fucking trick security, blah 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 blah. I had to cross him over, and I threw my board down, and then I like nollie flipped the double set in BC, or you know what I mean? Like, because we like every single trick we've done almost. There's a story behind all of them. Like whether it's
Yeah.
you remember being broke as fuck, getting change out of the couch cushion to for your little turnpike toll, so you could go skate somewhere. Like I remember this. I was with this dude and this dude. The homie sacked it that day. Like whatever, like going through. And me and Makendo were talking about doing that with the Filmbot video, just like sitting down and like just watching it and just hitting pause and just telling stories or whatever. Like, oh, he did this shit second try, or this was fucking first try. Homie hadn't even skated. He did it on somebody else's board. Like, just all the
Yeah.
different
I've
things.
never
Like,
I've never done that specifically like with the idea of like, hey, I'm gonna do that. But I've done it like if I come across something I did or a memory pops up. But I definitely should, because that is an awesome idea for sure.
yeah. And like, oh, you have so many, you have so many people that fuck with All I Need that haven't seen your zoo part or something like that, that hasn't seen your old 4-in-1 shit or something,
Yeah.
like to let these kids know.
Yeah.
They know you're an OG, but they're like, oh shit, this fool's a fucking kickboard siding shit back in the day.
Yeah, man. I get stoked, man. It's funny. I watch videos now too, and I'm like, um, I'm kind of suck. I'm rubbing my own nuts here, but I was like watching a part the other day. It was like a current pro, like Ryan DeCenzo had a part or something, and he like did a trick that I did like a long time ago, and that like made me feel good. I was like, damn, like skateboarding is so much better than I ever imagined I could be. Like the skateboarders nowadays are so much better. And I was like, but dude, that dude just did a trick that I did like 10 years ago. Like
Fuck yeah.
that made me feel good, because I was like, I kind of feel like I'm left behind, because I can't like I physically can't keep going on the level that I wanted to, like because at some point there's diminishing returns, you're gonna get hurt. But like to know that I did some stuff that's still current today is like so rad to me. I mean, and then you watch the rest of the part, and I'm like, yeah, I can never do that. I can never do that. That dude is so much
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than
yeah.
me. So much, but that one trick I did, like I'm on the level on
Oh
that one
yeah.
trick.
So funny. Some kid just had a part on Thrasher like a month ago, and he like nollie heel nose the wall rail. Again,
Yeah.
this one wall rail. And like everybody sent it to me. Everybody's tagging me because I nollie heel crooked it like 11 years ago.
Oh, dude, I
It's just
know.
like so funny, dude. Like I don't know. I'll see shit, and the way I look at it now, because I'm so out of it, and like I just expect skating to be insane. You know what I mean? Like
Me too.
it should be. Look where we're at. Like technology, social media, fucking everybody has 240 slow mo on their phone. Like so when I see shit that I know I could do, and I don't even skate really, I'm like, come on, dude, step your shit up. Like, cool. Like, I fucking literally skate once a month and I'll go fucking do this. Or like Aaron skates less than once a year. This fool just literally, we skate maybe once a year. He'll first try, feeble the flat bar, not mess up. He'll like front blunt it like third try. Like, his problem is his legs are just so weak to get up. But like, he could still do like fakie tray, first try, fucking hard flips, frontside half cab flips, all this shit. He skates once a year. So like, when we see shit that Aaron can do, we like send shit to each other and we're like, are you fucking kidding me, fool? Like, you skated 3 times the last 3 years. You go fucking film this shit in like 20 minutes. Like, it's so, because I know how good the level of skating is. You know what I mean? So when I see some fucking kid doing like a wally and then like a fucking crooked grind on like a little fucking bench, and he's like, everybody's jerking him off in the industry. I'm like, okay, swipe to go watch this other dude do like a fucking something in fakey flip switch front feeble down the double set rail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
come on now. I get it. Skateboarding will always have the style aspect to it. No matter what, you're going to have like your super insane dudes, but there's always going to be somebody like Austin Gillette that could just kickflip going a fucking million miles an hour and it'll look better than this other person's like,
Ender.
yeah, 360 El Toro, you know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck. So,
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
so true.
understand that.
So true.
But it's funny just seeing shit that when we're still relevant, I'm like, I could go fucking nollie heel flip nose this 5-stair handrail. It's 2-page spread. I don't even, you know what I mean? I can go
Yeah.
do that right now.
Yeah, totally.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, that's always crazy, man. Yeah. I hate to end this because, dude, this has been fucking fun. And I want to do it again. So we're gonna have to catch up sooner than later because it's been too long, and I have so much more I want to talk about. But like I said, I rented out that park, so I gotta kind of.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, and all the homies are coming too, and I got my GoPro and my handle, so I'm gonna film a vlog. But Derek, before we go, first I just want to say I fucking love you, man. That's
Love
it.
you too, dude.
Yeah,
So glad we could do this.
it's been too long, and I'm hoping we get to hang out in person sooner than later. I'm trying to work
Yeah.
towards that. I'll let you know. But before we go, obviously just like plug stuff, like whatever you're working on. If there's anywhere you want to direct people, like, and so people can check out everything you're on. If there's anything you want to.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Fukuhara on IG, High Rise TV on IG. High Rise is our little like fucking weed agency platform that we do. High Rise TV, it's our IG, one of our IG accounts I run. High Rise TV on YouTube, a bunch of stupid stoner hijink shit. It's kind of like the Thrasher / Crail Tap tilt mode. Try to give it that vibe of the cannabis community. We're just always doing some dumb, stupid shit.
Stupid in the best way, for sure.
And then just check out that shit. All I need, you already know. Discount code Fuchs.
Derek, you have. Hold on, real quick. Let me look this up real quick, just before we go. Let's see how many boards you have for All I Need right now. Go to the website.
Dude, everybody loves the sushi board. It's crazy. Like, I feel like I sell more boards now than I did when I was on World. And I like barely skate now. And like, I just have people hitting me up all the time. And I'm just like sending them the link. And they're like, fuck, they're sold out. And like, yeah.
I just put some up, actually. I said, I'll say that in the intro again too. But there are some decks online now. The Bigfoot deck, that's one. Let's go through this real quick. The
sushi one killed it.
The Hobo series, the sushi one. The Hobo series is actually, we're gonna discontinue that for a while. So that's 3. Do we have any more than that? Nope. Yep. Foxhole Fukuhara. Fukuhara. The Fox in the Trenches. That's 4. Dude, that's 4. You got 4 models that are available right now. Let's go. That's crazy. You have 4
Peter,
models.
James, Glenn.
Yeah, and they all been, and like you said, they all been selling, dude. That all those models, every single one, I've been selling them, so they're still out there. You're still ripping.
A lot of cannabis people out there supporting super hard too, and like it's crazy because people in the cannabis industry are like down to spend money to support. It's not really like the skateboarding industry, so I just have people hitting me up all the time, like I bought one, or like Aaron's dad bought one.
Yeah,
he bought it. He bought it complete off like South Shore or off Eastern or some shit like that. Yeah, so funny.
Let's maybe the next board we do a High Rise collab with your next model.
Let's do it. That'd be amazing. We could definitely pump that shit out. People would be stoked on it. It'd be a sick collab.
All right, man. Sick, Derek. Again, love you, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Love you too, brother. Yeah, anytime.
And I appreciate you taking the time out to have these conversations, man, because they help me a lot. So thanks.
Likewise, man. Likewise.